Yeah, we're ready when you're ready.
Right, take them fine, Simon.
Okay. Michael, welcome to Music Box.
Hi.
And the Australia section. Nice to have you along. How's the European tour gone?
Well, it's been great. It's been interesting because we've been to Germany, and Germany before nothing was happening, and now we had sellouts, and it's great. Yeah.
Have you been surprised at the response? Because certainly here in Music Box we get a lot of mail concerning INXS. Have you been surprised at the way you've gone down? Yeah, I'll tell you more about that later, actually.
Yeah. give me some. Yeah. Well, we've sort of neglected England, I think, to a degree itself, and it's great that now we've come back, and this is our third show on Sunday, and it's a sellout at the Hammersmith, so you know it is a surprise. It's great.
All might be well on that front, but the critics have certainly savaged the LP in this country, haven't they?
Well, there's sort of more serious ones, the NME Melody Maker, yeah, but you know.
Well, the NME in fact called it a turkey, and Melody Maker said, likened you to stadium rockers. Sounds called it Pretty Boy Balderdash. I mean, what would you say in your defence to those people?
Brilliant. That's good. It's nice rhetoric. I don't know. You know, I think it's pretty hard to come from Australia playing music unless you're really independent and sort of play around in small places without getting people up you, you know, straight away. It's fine. It doesn't really bother me.
You'd rather people think something than nothing.
We really, you know, we just write. We have the very simple virtues of rock and roll band. You know, we write music, play it, and have a drink afterwards, and sometimes make videos. And we don't have any big sort of press-making trip. You know, where that's really what a lot of English press is about, I suppose. They need a trip. That's how they sell magazines. It's an entertainment unto itself.
Europeans seem to increasingly be looking to Australia for new bands and things. Do you think you've suffered maybe because you have become more established than the majority of Australian bands at the moment? A lot of independent bands seem to be very, very popular.
It's really luckily is independent. Go-Between is one of my favourite bands, you know. I feel happy for them. They have the critics behind them, you know.
So do you think you are whipping boys to a certain extent because you have a major record deal and that sort of thing?
Sure, yeah, I suppose. It's funny. I mean, I consider myself more independent than a lot of independent bands because it's the way we run our whole trip. You know, we own everything and we pay for most of it.
You mentioned a bit earlier that it's a question of getting the tracks down or making the videos and then having a drink afterwards. But it's not quite as simple as that, is it? Because you've allied yourselves to certain causes too. You've played for Greenpeace, for example, and things like that. Tell us just a bit about that, a bit about the politics within INXS.
Well, it's really going to a cause and sort of rallying people to it rather than going on about it on record so much. Certainly I write songs about what I believe in, and it covers different subjects. But yeah, we've done NDP concerts, 2 NDP concerts in Australia.
What's that, NDP?
Nuclear Disarmament Party.
Right.
Peter Garrett's thing, you know, from Midnight Oil, the singer. And we've done Greenpeace in Rotterdam, because they're trying to blow up our back garden, you know, the French and all that. Sorry about that. We've done, recently we did a show with old Chuck and Di.
How was that? Because I was going to ask you.
That was, I don't know, I didn't even see them. Well, we met them afterwards and, you know, shuffle, and grovel, but it was just to raise money for charity, actually. That's why we did it, you know. And, you know, we thought it'd be fun.
Did you think you'd get a bit of a hammering for that, for playing in front of the royal family?
Yeah, but we do what we like, don't we?
Because they're not always seen as being that popular in Australia, are they, our royal family?
Oh, in Australia, not in England either sometimes. It's by certain people, surprisingly. Yeah, in Australia we don't have any ties anymore. We're not a colony. So, you know, it's more like a novelty thing, you know, to us. It's like same to Americans. They think, that's really strange. How can they have people that are born into royalty, you know? So there's still a lot of people back in Australia that remember the home country, though, you know, older people.
The old ties are still there in certain circumstances.
Sure.
Have you ever thought about spending maybe a bit more time in the UK and the rest of Europe? Because it seems to me that a lot of the bands that pass through maybe have the odd hit single or do well or get a burst of press in the short term, and yet long term it gets very hard for them to establish themselves. So have you thought about spending maybe 6 months in the UK or Europe to try and really crack the market?
Yeah, we will. We'll be coming back in about 3 months again. Like I said, England is the least place we've ever played, and we've really got to start, getting over here a bit more. I guess we've tried to live in Sydney and tour the world. If we wanted to, we could have just come straight out to London and sort of sat down and started from scratch here, but we really wanted to do it from Sydney.
Spending, well, I wouldn't say a lot of time in Australia because you're touring a heck of a lot,
Yeah.
but sort of
3 or 4 months a year.
being based over there, what is the music scene like there at the moment? Because we get second-hand reports over here that things are beginning to take off and that it's quite exciting. I mean, what is happening over there at
It's
the
good
moment?
and bad, There's like, there's some bands I'd hate to see what happened if they came out here. But I think, I don't think it's true that all the best bands come straight to London to live. I don't think that's true. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's becoming very insular. People are staying in Australia and working there, from there. It's changing all the time. I mean, by the time I get back, all the bands that I thought was happening are probably gone. And it's very quick, And it's very self-supportive. It has to be, like the film industry as well.
How do you account for a lot of the bands over there suddenly reaching some kind of status outside of Australia? Because traditionally...
Not a lot of them do, though.
Really?
Yeah.
It is still quite a small
Couple.
amount.
Yeah, compared to how many people you can it's 40, 50, 60 bands on the weekend to see, Men at Work were possibly almost a fluke. AC/DC are probably the last sort of real rock and roll band out of Australia to make it.
But there have been 1 or 2 bands
Apart
getting
from
signed up.
Olivia and, Yeah, there's been bands signed up for sure. There's a whole bunch right now that I'm really enthusiastic about, like Do Re Mi, I'm Talking, The Models. There's a bunch around. They're good.
And their obsessions seem to be quite different to those bands that exist in Europe, the UK and the USA, in that the old trash aesthetic still seems to be very strong over there because of...
Trash aesthetic.
Yeah, try saying that without your false teeth.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be quite an important feature in a lot of their work, doesn't it? A lot of them cite sort of rather trashy TV series as being sources of influence.
No, it's really... Yeah, well, that's, mad Australians. We're out there isolated. We don't know what's going on, do we? Watch Hogan's Heroes and things like that and get into it. I don't know. It is one of the strange things about Australia. So like last year, there was a big thing on Elvis Presley. Everybody's walking around looking like Elvis Presley, And then it goes on like that. There's fads all the time.
You're also pursuing a film career at the moment, or you've shot a film, haven't you, with Richard Lowenstein?
Oh, yeah.
What's the story there? You're looking a bit reticent. Dogs in Space.
Dogs in Space. Yeah. Well,
has it been released
I was very
yet?
nervous about it.
Yeah.
No, we haven't even started it. I start in a month's time.
And what's that going to be about? Can you tell us?
Dogs in space.
Really? And what's your role in it?
No, I play a character who's really a victim of circumstances in a household full of people in Melbourne about 76, 77. And that's really all I can say at the moment. I don't know, Richard Lowenstein, he's mad. He doesn't know what he's doing until he's doing it, but he's very good. It's a bit more like a European style of movie, where the morals or whatever it's about happen during the movie, not really at the end.
And how did you take to acting?
Well, I've done it I did it for a little while, many years ago, but only recently have we sort of got around to Richard and I talking about this movie.
And it's still to be seen, presumably.
Still to be seen, yeah. I hope it'll be okay.
So learning lines like crazy at the moment, is it?
Yes, yeah.
Now, a little earlier we touched upon this thing about us receiving a lot of mail about the band, and in particularly yourself.
Oh, yeah?
What's it like being a pin-up? Because you're certainly seen as a pin-up in Europe. He's getting all embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't really, I don't know. We're in a strange position where we're really just doing rock and roll, and people sort of prey upon us for these sort of things. I don't know. It's fun. I treat it with a grain of salt. Yeah.
Do you? Because I've been looking at photographs of you and posters of you alongside people like George Michael and Spandau Ballet in certain magazines. Well, there's certain magazines on the continent that
Me and George,
have got you right up there with him. So,
oh, really? Oh.
Embarrassing?
Is that dangerous? I'm not sure.
Could mean a lot of money for you, though.
It could be, yes.
He's been very reticent about that. OK, the future plans for the band, after the film has been shot and what have you, and you've mentioned the States and Canada you're going to be touring.
Yeah, once we finish Europe, yeah.
And then in to record the next album or what?
Yeah, well, actually, no. I'd say in about 3 months from now, we'll come back to England and we're going to play outside of London. We haven't done that yet. And we'll might even get up to Scotland and places like that, and through Europe again.
Good. We wish you luck with everything,
Thank you.
Michael. Going to be a very busy boy.
Yes.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you.